Welcome everybody to this second workshop on Play Cricket. First one was about putting fixtures on the system, and this one is very much going to be about putting results, full scorecards and scoring. So I'm really pleased that we have from the ECB with us tonight, Chris Seal and Tom Parry, who are going to be presenting for us tonight. Our goal is to get every cricket match in Wales on Play Cricket, one way or another, and capture all the other numbers of juniors through All-Stars and Dynamos as well. Play Cricket will become an increasingly important part of how the ECB measure the health of cricket in Wales. But actually, we also know it's a really important player retention tool and keeping people interested in the game as well. The Dynamos game, which is being held this year, has its own app and scoring app, which will encourage youngsters to get involved in scoring from an early age as well. And I know so many of you are from junior cricket and leagues, and that's the one area where we really need to get full game scorecards onto Play Cricket as well as results. So just before I hand over to Chris and Tom, if you have questions about the subject that the guys are talking about, can you pop them in the chat box, please? And then we'll answer them as we go along. Otherwise, it's over to you. Chris, thank you very much for your time, and over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. So thank you very much, guys, for having us tonight. What we've done is we've split the night into almost 3 sections. We're going to start off, and I'm going to show some direct results entry into Play Cricket. Then I'll take a break for a while Tom shows off a PCS demo, and then we'll finish off with me showing a little bit from PCS Pro, which is our laptop scoring program as well. So we're trying to give you a look at both digital scoring platforms, as well as show the manual entry off as well. These will be very quick demos as we're going through, because we don't want to hold you here all night, but the recording is being recorded, and also we've got some help guides that we'll give to Mark to distribute as well, which you can use alongside seeing what me and Tom are doing tonight. We hope it's going to be useful for you. So I'm just going to share my screen now. Okay, I've just got to get Zoom back up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you should be at the moment see Anna's test site. Can I have a thumbs up from anyone with a video on? Yeah, thank you, Tom. Okay, so this is Anna's test site. Now, to enter a result, you need to have an admin role, which can be set by your main administrator. And once you've got an admin role, to enter admin into Play Cricket, you just press the head and shoulders icon here and go to site administration. So entering a result in Play Cricket is always in day-to-day, and it's under results. And you can see here that there are several matches that have been set up, and you can see if they're a friendly match or a league match based on their titles here, dates, the match, the teams that are playing, and then there's this edit result button for any that can be entered into Play Cricket. So part of my demo tonight, I'm going to be looking at this result here, which is the third team B versus Nick's site 13. So I'm just going to click the pencil here, which is edit result. And this is the start of entering a result directly into Play Cricket. So what you can see here is I've said enter result, and it's brought me to the summary page for the result. And this is the summary page in total here. What you can also see when you get onto this page, it's a question that we're asked quite often, is that all the other tabs will be blank because there's no result actually entered. Those tabs will become available to you once you've put a result into the boxes down here. So this feeds through anything that's been set up on the fixture cards, so the date of the fixture, the time if it's been set up, any scorers and umpires that might have been added as well. So if they've been added into the fixture, they come out here. But if you need to add them, then you can add them from the drop downs when you are in the result. So I said about the summary result being entered. The minimum requirement for a scorecard to be populated on Play Cricket is to have the result entered. And for this one, I'm just going to put Anna's side as 1. You also need to have your runs in. So I'm just going to put some runs. I'm just going to put some wickets in as well. Also some overs as well. and it will come up with your scheduled overs here. And for the test purposes, I've only done this as a 4-over game. Yeah, 120 runs in 4 overs. That's a little bit ambitious, but we'll see. Okay, so that's the minimum amount of information that you need to have a result on to play cricket. However, this doesn't give anything really to the players as in stats or anything like that. And like I said, we're all about retention. So every time you navigate during these scorecards, if you just press save at the bottom, it will bring you onto the next tab. So if I press save here, it goes to the next page, which is confirming Anna's team. Now, because I've been prepared, I've set this up in the fixtures already. So it set my team up for me for who was going to play before the day, so I won't have to do it on the day. If any of this is incorrect, and for example, if Darth Vader wasn't playing today, I could just turn around, click Darth Vader, and replace them with Sophie Test, which is what I've just done there. So you can swap out your players. You can also add unsure players in if you're not sure of a name, and then resolve it later. If you're happy with that, you just press save. It would then go on, even though I'm on Anna's test site, it will show me Nick's team. And as I'm entering from Anna's site, I'll be able to change Nick's team if I need to as well. I'm happy with that. And again, I'm just going to press save at the bottom here. What this will then bring up is the scorecard view. And the scorecard view is split into a few sections. The first section is the kind of batting section. The next section is kind of the how to use partnerships and add partnerships in. And the last section is the bowler's information. And any information put into any of these sections will then be shown in stats. So anything in the batting section will be in a batting stat. Anything in partnerships will be shown in partnerships. And anything in bowling will be shown as a bowler stat. So what we'll do here is we've got our summary result that has come in from the front page saying 120 runs were scored and a total of 2 wickets. And how we then populate the information is just by changing some of these drop downs. So I know there were 2 wickets, so I'm just going to enter my 2 wickets. And I know that that means I've got 2 people not out. So I've just done that there. Okay. Now it's a little bit difficult to see on Zoom, but when I've done this bold box here, the fielder box has remained unfillable, but the bowler box is now active because obviously they've been bowled. So I can put Ava in there. And then for Geraldine was a catch. I've got a catcher. And again, I've got a bowler there. And then it's just as simple as just putting in what runs were scored for each player. So I can go 60 runs, 20, 20, and 10. And that will just show up there in that subtotal there that 110 runs have been scored by players. Now, if I had any extras in the game, so wides and no balls, leg buys, and all this kind of thing, I can just put the extras in here. So I'm just going to put 5 in for balls. 5 in for buys, 5 in for no balls. And that then brings my total runs scored, matching the summary runs there. So that's the batting tab open there. The other thing you can do for stats as well is input how many 4s were done, how many 6s were done. And if you enter the balls, you also can generate a strike rate. For the partnership bit here, we can just turn around and say when the wickets were taken. So we can say a wicket was taken at 70. The batsman out was JJ. Batsman not out was Geraldine. And it comes in the list that is displayed up here, guys, to try and make it as easy as possible so you don't have to search or anything like that. So whatever the batting list is here, you can change, it comes up in there. And I could say Geraldine was at 10 when not out. And then I've only got another wicket to do here. I can say the score got to 90. My batsman that was out was Geraldine. Batsman not out was Sue. And Sue was on 10. And this will just generate partnership data then. Final thing you can do is just do for the bowlers. So if I'm going to go to the bowler section here and I selected Ava, what it pulls across, it already pulls across 2 wickets have been taken by Ava because I've inputted them up here as taking 2 wickets as a bowler. So it tries to put the information up there. If I selected Mia, who also got a catch, it wouldn't put any wickets in for there because this is bowling wickets, this is bowling data. And for this, I could just put in how many runs each bowler had against them and how many overs if I wish as well. And again, I can put wides, no balls, all that information in there and then press save. And if everything matches on my scorecard, which it doesn't, sorry. Hey, that's supposed to match. Oh, sorry, it's because I put buys in. Sorry, because I put the buys in, that's why it doesn't match. If I just press save, it will then, if there's nothing out of sync with this, it will just won't put me a warning message up and it will just say everything's fine. So there's a validation check that happens every time. What I'm going to do now for Nick's site is I'm not going to be as good at filling out the information, just to show you that these checks do happen. So I've got 3 people that are out. So I'm going to do the 3 people that are out. Pop in the bowler. I'm going to do the runs. Like so, and I'm not going to fill out anything else. And if I press save now, it'll come up and say, I've not entered any bowling data. Do I wish to continue? And I'm going to say yes at this point. And then it will also tell me that the sections don't add up to each other. And again, I can continue. But again, this is just designed just to try and make sure that you know that you need to fill that information out. And I'm just going to press yes. What this does at this point is it will generate you a scorecard. And here's the scorecard here. So it's got all the data that I've entered will be in this scorecard. So whoever's bowled, the players, got fall of wickets here, which is the partnership, the bowling figures there. And then the second innings here, we've got the bowling bit. However, the fall of wickets and bowling section are not completed. Okay. But that is entering the scorecard in. What I've got at the top here as well is I've got a back button, a print button. I've also got an audit trail button, and clicking this will let you know what changes were made at what times. And this is nice to use if you're having collaboration between 2 clubs with scorecards. You can see exactly what's been changed in the scorecard between the 2 collaborations. So once this has been inputted on admin, if I wanted just to view that again, I could press this view button here. If I wanted to go back and edit, so if I want to go edit and add the bowling section in, I could just press edit, and then it'll bring up the whole tabs. However, they're now all active because I filled the summary result in. So I could go down to Nick's and, for example, put the bowling information in, which is JJ there, 3 wickets. I could put 4 overs. Press save. And now it will say that the only thing I haven't put in is some runs. It allows me still to save it. So it's got that in there now, and it's now updated the bowling information there. Okay. So that is entering into Playcricket there. If it's a friendly, you can delete it if you wish to, if you've set up a friendly, but it's the site that's created it that will delete it from the system. This just deletes it from view on a person there. And you can do other bits and pieces on there. You can also add a match report in through this screen as well. The final thing to just note on here is this confirmation button. And this allows clubs to confirm a scorecard. So Anna has this, Anna's site has this button and Nick has this button. And at a league level, having them both ticked as greens, the league will see that and they'll know that you both sides are happy with that scorecard. So it's just really good. Once you've got everything happy on your end, you just tick that button. So that's back end entering a result really, really fast into Playcricket and just doing the scorecard. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass over to Tom. We're going to show some of these outputs of this later on. So we're going to show my game, Tom's game, and my PCS Pro game on the front end of what it looks on Playcricket. But for now, Tom's going to take you through a Playcricket Scorer demo, which is on tablet and phone. So over to you, Tom. I'm going to stop sharing.
No, it didn't unmute myself. There we go. I was talking to myself for a second. Let me just quickly share my tablet screen. So I'll be showing you a demonstration on an iPad, what you can do is you can use both Apple and Android devices to score with PCS. So let me just make sure you can see that. Yeah. So I'm just going to go into Playcricket Scorer, and let me just get my mouse up. Right. I've just got to move. I'm not very good at multitasking, so you'll have to excuse me. Steve, I can show you how pairs cricket works afterwards, but for now I'm just going to go through a quick run through of all the other functions on the app. So you can score normal formats on the app, but we also do cater for all of the different junior formats, as well as pairs cricket, last man stands, and countdown cricket, which is our new 100-ball format. So what I'm just going to show, what's really important here first is to use Playcricket Scorer to be able to download the games and score and then upload. You need to be, one, a member of the website, two, have scorer admin rights for that site, and I do believe that's it. So what we've got at the bottom here is we've got some handy buttons. This one, first one I'm going to show you is the tutorials button. So if you've never used PCS before, this is a really good place to start. So essentially it's got everything that I'm going to show you in the tutorials section. So before you start playing around with any games, I do suggest you give the tutorials a go. Under the tools section, we've got the Duckworth Lewis calculator. So this is a standalone Duckworth Lewis calculator, which means you don't have to be logged in, and you also don't need to be scoring a match or have internet access. So it's inbuilt into the app. So I'm just going to quickly show you this. You've got your different values to set. So I'm just going to quickly go to a men's setting. So it's asking me to, you can change the overs here, but I'm going to keep it as 50. So I'm just going to put in, say, 150 here, and then go on to the second innings. Now, this little button here, here is called for suspension periods. So this is quite good for, this is where you put in your any sort of breaks that might affect the game. So in this case, we'll go for over 10. The second innings, they'd scored 30, lost 3 wickets, and we'll go for 10 overs remaining. So we've lost 30 overs due to rain. Which you're happy with that, press done. And as you can see here, it's updated the pass score and the runs needed. So to change this as you go along, all you've got to do is just update the overs in this box. So you can see the runs going up. It also does allow you to go ball by ball as well. So you can see the difference between 0.2 and 0.5 there. So that's pretty much how the standalone Duckworth Lewis calculator works. So I'm just going to quickly cancel that out. Now we've got this other matches button here. So if I just select that, so you've got various options. You've got a demo match. That's preset to a T20 match. So once you've gone through your tutorials, this is probably the next step to go to. Just have a quick play around in a demo match, try out a lot of different buttons and see if you can break it. And then carry on with your scoring your actual matches. So we've also got a new function that's come out yesterday, which is a shared match. So what this will allow you to, unfortunately, I can't show you on this demo, but this will allow you to log into your match and then share it with another device that's opened, got Playcricket on it. So the other device doesn't need to be logged in. So they essentially use your login details to score the match. So what I'll do is I'll make a demo of that and then I'll send it over to Mark afterwards. But it's quite handy for if you've got juniors who want to score, because to have a Playcricket account, you have to be over 16. So this is one of the ways we thought of getting around it, was to allow someone to log in on their device share the match to somebody else's device, and then they don't need to log in themselves. You've got your custom matches option there as well. So a custom match is a standalone match. So you don't need internet access to set it up. All you do is enter your player details, match settings, and just score that way. And it's a standalone match. It can never be uploaded to Playcricket. And then last but not least, you've got your downloaded matches. So this is where matches that you've downloaded to score offline will sit. So I'll just quickly show you how to do that by logging in here. So in those download matches, you don't need internet access to score, which as somebody who holidays in Pembrokeshire quite a lot can understand, it can be quite tricky in certain places. So once you've logged in, you can select a site. So here you can see I've got a few different sites that I score for, but in this case, I'm just going to go for Anna's testing site and then press done. So this brings up all my upcoming matches, downloaded matches, and other games. So as you can see here, I've got some set up already, but I can't see the match that I set up today. What will happen is when you refresh the data, it will update with any games that are going to be played within the next 10 days. So to do that, I'm just going to press this little download icon here and then press OK. So as you can see here, this, unfortunately, it doesn't like to scroll down with my mouse, but you can see all these different matches have just appeared. You've also got a competition filter here, which will allow you to go through all the different divisions that you might be scoring for. But in this case, it's just a friendly match. So if I just go down to, so I'm going to go down to this one here from 2 days ago that I set up. So I'm just going to click on it. And in this case, I'm going to press the download button. So by downloading it, it will appear in this column here. There we go. And now this match is available to be scored offline. So if I go to this little hamburger menu, as it's called, which is for 3 lines, and log out. Okay. And then go to other matches. And then I'm going to select download matches. And then as you can see, it's appeared there. So I don't need to be logged in. I don't need to have internet access to be able to score the game from there. Just click on it and start the match. But I'm going to live score a different one. So let me just log back in. Select my competition. And then scroll down. So I'm just going to start this match whilst I'm waiting for it to load up. There we go. So the first thing that it will ask you to do is it will ask you to select your teams. So in this case, Anna's testing site has been very helpful, and they've entered their team in before I've downloaded the game on Playcricket. So if I just go here to edit the team, I can see that the entire team is set up already, and they've even set up their captain and wicket keeper. If I press done here, and then I'm going to go to my own site. I was very lazy and didn't set anyone up. So what will happen here is it will just show you the players that are available for my Parks and Rec team. So the reason that happens is it's because I've got my players set up in squads on my Playcricket site. So it's very handy and very useful to have the players in the correct teams to make it easier for you to select them. So I'm just going to select my players. But what's happened, oh, there you go, and then edit team. So I need to select a wicket keeper and a captain. So let's go for done that. There we go. But what I've realised is that there's been a last-minute dropout. So Jerry isn't actually playing. So I'm just going to click on these 3 dots here again. So this is where you get to set captains, wicket keepers, and also take the player out of the team. So I'm going to remove a player, and then press yes. So that's taken Jerry out, and then you can see he's appeared here. But what's happened is instead I've had a complete new player who hasn't signed up to play cricket turn up to a match. This is, from what I understand, very common in junior formats. So in that case, all you've got to do is press new custom player. What shall we go for today? I'll go for Fred. Or first name, last name. And then once you're happy with that, press done. If I go to edit team, you can see Fred Flintstone's been added there as a free text player, as we call it. So at the end of the match, Chris will show you the scorecard and it'll show you what it will look like. It'll give the admin a bit of a notification. So once I'm happy with the teams, I can either save and exit and come back to it later, or I can continue to match setup. So I'm going to continue to match setup. You've got all these different options here. This should be preset for you. If your league has set up their scoring rule properly, then it should be preset with your whichever format that you're playing settings. So you can see. So you can see down here, this is blank because it's not a junior format or a pairs format. So if we've got time at the end, I'll show you what that looks like. But I've got all these different options. I can toggle them on and off. So I'll keep the wagon wheels for now. But you've got lots of different options that you can choose from. Go to match setup. Match setup is essentially who's won the toss and who's going to bat and bowl. So we're going for Anna, and they're going to bat. So then you've got two options here. You've got your score manually option. So this is essentially where you, where you're just entering the headline scores potentially, or you've scored on paper and you want to enter a scorecard into PCS and upload it that way, rather than going into the site itself. But in this case, we're going to score ball by ball. And then next steps is selecting the batters and then the bowler. And then this will bring you through to your score sheet. So you've got lots of different buttons on your score sheet. So for instance, if it's a dot ball, press a dot. And then if it's a run, if you've got your wagon wheel set up, this will prompt you to use the wagon wheel. So it's just a simple case of just selecting where the ball's gone across in this ball. So press done, and that will save it. So I'm going to continue scoring a few more. And then a couple more. And then we'll go for a no ball. So the first time you hit the extras, one of the extras, it'll ask you whether the no balls or wides are the values are set properly. This will just allow you to change the values before anything else happens if they are incorrect. If they are incorrect, change it for the game, and I would suggest contacting your league administrator to get those updated. But in this case, I'm happy with that. Going to press OK. So as you can see here, it's come up as a little black icon, which matches the button colors down here. In this case, we're going to score another one. And then let's go for a 6. Press done. So after 6 legal deliveries, it's going to prompt me to end the over. With all of these boxes that you get given, you can override the suggestion. So in this case, I'm just going to continue the over because the umpire hasn't signaled that it's over. The over's over. So I'm going to score another dot ball. So every ball over the legal amount that it's set to, it will ask you to end the over. This will allow you to bowl, I think, 9 legal deliveries before it will actually close the over down. But so I'm happy with ending the over with 7 balls in there, and then I just select the next bowler. So what I've realised is I'm going into over 2. I don't really want to use a wagon wheel anymore. So if you ever want to make any changes to the match settings, use these 3 little dots at the top and then go into, you've got lots of different options, but I'm just going to show you the match settings. And then I've got to turn this off because it doesn't like toggles. Turn it off and then press done. So we're going to score a few more dot balls. And what I've realized is that this first ball of the first over wasn't actually a dot ball. I was just too busy having a cup of tea, and it's actually gone for 2 runs. So if this happens, make a note of it on a piece of paper and then go back to change it at a break in the play. To do so, all you've got to do is click on this little pencil icon here. And then you've got lots of different ways of editing the ball, different things you can do to edit the ball. So in this case, I'm just going to change the runs from a dot ball to 2 and press done. Okay. So we're going to continue scoring. And then what I've realized is C Drew is the wrong player here. So in that case, all I've got to do is click on the 3 dots again next to the name. And in this case, I can change strike round. So the blue denotes who's on strike, but in this, I'm going to change the batter. So Homer Simpson can come in. And I'm going to change this due to error. So as you can see, all that's happened is it's just swapped a player out and kept the stats there. So I'm going to keep scoring. And then end the over. And then press done. So what I've done for this example is I've set the over limits to the bowler to 1 over, just to show you that it will prompt you to make sure that the bowler hasn't bowled over their limit. I can override it, but in this case, I'm going to say no and go for somebody else. I'm going to now take a wicket. Take a wicket, big red button. Again, just fill in all the different options here. So we'll just go for Homer Simpson to be bowled. Press done. And then you'll have your confirm or decline if you're not happy or you are happy with what you've entered. And then it'll just show up. Oh, the next batter in, it'll just show up as a little red wicket mark there. So let me just score some more balls. In the case of having the wrong bowler for an over, what you can do is you can click on this little pencil icon here next to the over and change the bowler around. So we'll just go for bowler. And as you can see, it's updated the bowler there. Carry on scoring. Yeah. And then some more. We'll go for a no ball again, but this case we'll go for a wicket. So what will happen here is it will give you the options of how you can be out. So in this case, a no ball, you've gone from, I think, 12 different options to 4. So in this case, we'll go for a run out and then stick the fielder in and then press done. There we go. And put another batter in. So what's happened here is next is the umpire's called the end of the over after only 5 balls. So if this ever happens, you've got this little end over button here. Simply press that. It will give you a little prompt to say you've only bowled 5 legal deliveries. So you can either say yes or no. But in this case, we'll just say yes. And then select another bowler. Oh, no, they've bowled already. And then we're into the final over. So I'm just going to quickly run through this. What I've just done now here is I didn't mean to press 2, but because I've got fat fingers, I did. If this ever happens, you've got this little blue undo button here. So I would suggest just using it if you're going to undo one ball, 1 or 2 balls that you've going back to. So let me just finish this over off. End the over. So this, because I've done the 5 overs, I can end the innings because it's a compulsory close. So I'm just going to press yes to that. And then you'll see all the buttons here have gone blank. So the reason these buttons have gone blank is because you can't really do anything until you start new innings. So if I press new innings button here, select some batters, and then we can carry on scoring. So let me just score some runs here. And we over. And keep going. So again, I've made a mistake with one of these balls. So if I just click on one of the edit buttons, I can change this to say 2 runs, and they weren't actually runs, they were buys, and then press done. So this will bring up the autocorrect function. So what will happen here is it'll give you the option to change the over or the entire innings, so you can go back at any point during the game and adjust the ball values. So if I press entire innings, you'll see here maybe the last 4 or 5 balls that this will change who's been facing the balls. So if I just press yes, entire innings, just switch those players around. You can do this at the end of a 50 over innings, and it will update the innings, or you can just change the over. So where are we? So we'll just score some more, another over, end the over. And whilst we've done the second over, it started to rain. So I'm just going to show you how to use Duckworth Lewis in game. So you've got this match action button here. You've got lots of different options, but the one we're interested in is the Duckworth Lewis. And turn that on and then press done. I'm happy with the G50 value. And then I'm going to enter a suspension period, which is, so this will automatically fill the suspension period. But all I'm going to do is change that from 3 overs left. So we've lost 2 overs in this match. Press done, and done again. So you can see that it's updated it to 6 balls left instead of 18. I've got my target score and I've got my par score as well. So as I go along, there you go. I didn't realize I was that close. So I've now passed the scores. So I'm going to close the match because the match is over, and then I can look at the scorecard and make adjustments to the scorecard if I need to. So I'm just going to press OK there. To go between the 2 different scorecards, you just simply click on the team name. You can change the numbers around in these boxes if you want, but I'm just going to keep them as they are. I've looked through all this. I'm happy with what I've got, and then I'm just going to press the end match button. So what will happen if you're scoring with no internet is it won't allow you to finalize the result because you need internet access to upload the result to Playcricket. So I would suggest save a match and exit, wait till you get internet access, and then upload the result that way. But in this case, I'm just going to finalize the result, and then my team won for once, and then press OK. So in that couple of button presses, that's completely Chris's scorecard on Playcricket. You'll also have league tables, bonus points, player stats, wagon wheels, all that sort of stuff automatically updated as well, which is one way we keep player retention. So I'm going to hand back over to Chris because that's the end of our, oh, no, hang on, sorry. I'm just going to show you a few options here. So if you click on the match once it's being completed, you can look at it again. In your view and share option, you can also export the scorecard to PDF. Normally, it's a good idea just to have another copy of the scorecard, just in case, if you're like me and you have fat fingers, you accidentally press remove from the device, just in case. And you've also got a resynced Playcricket option, which is quite handy if you've got patchy internet, just in case it doesn't upload fully at the time. So I'm just going to hand back over to Chris, unless there's any questions that anybody wants to raise on PCS, Chris, whilst I'm here.
There's a couple in the chat box, but if you can try and answer them in the chat box, mate, while I just do the Playcricket demo, that'd be great. Sorry, the PCS Pro demo. So just going to share my screen again, guys, and this is going to be a very, very quick demonstration of PCS Pro. PCS Pro can be used for formats, however, it can't be used for the junior formats, which I was informed of that a lot of you on the call actually do use junior format, but I thought it's still worth me showing off this one, just for anyone that isn't playing junior formats and would like to have a look at PCS Pro. So PCS Pro, like PCS, requires you to have a member of website or club, a Playcricket login account, and a scorer role. When you first enter and log in, you'll see your name at the top there. Also at the bottom here, it will tell you your scoring status, whether you're connected to internet while scoring and all that business there. So when you first go into this for the first time, you won't have any information in it. So what I do tell people to do is either start from a new match, and then you can create your own dummy match on the system with your own dummy teams, dummy players. I've got a couple of scorers recently on a call that one of them was an Arsenal supporter, one of them was a supporter. We're not going any further into that, but let's just say it got messy with who decided their team was the best. But you can do that there. If you start match from fixture, it'll actually bring up the screen and it will bring you up any fixtures that are on Anna's. So for me, Anna's test site between the date range that's over here. And you can see these fixtures here. And if you are first time going onto this, opening one of these and starting it and then pressing save will populate your members database for your club on your PCS Pro. So when you're doing the dummy matches, you can do a dummy match between two of your club teams if you wish. So you've got that there. So for the purpose of this demo here, I've got it here, and I'm going to be using the match type here, which is Chris Train 4 overs, which is a 4 over game, pretty similar to one I used earlier. And to select that, I'll just press this button here and press continue. This will download the match. And much like what I showed in Playcricket and in PCS, it'll bring across any information regarding the team straight into the game from Playcricket. If you needed to edit any of these players or add them, you can just click on them and then press the edit, remove, replace buttons there. A feature that PCS has is it also brings up, when you hover over them, any of the games these players have recently played in. So you have some idea of who they are, which is just a feature that we've added into PCS Pro. Now, to get the game into a start mode, anything with a red asterisk next to it needs to be filled out. A lot of these are filled out default by the fixture itself. So you've got here the club, for example, the team, the ground, the venue, the start date are all filled out. And the captain and wicket keeper, again, I filled these out beforehand. If it's incorrect, just using the drop downs, you can change the bits and pieces around. Got some options here where you can save and start later, which means the match will be recorded to your file, so you can start scoring it without internet at a ground, or you can just start scoring it straight away. And when you go into this option, you've got start as a local scorer, which means you won't be broadcasting a result, which is great if you're not the primary scorer at a game, if there's two scorers there. And you've got live scorer, which will update live to Playcricket while you're scoring. I'm going to do myself as a live scorer. It'll ask me to prompts if I'm happy that I've got 11 players in, and I'll say yes. And then it will load up the match screen. And this is just a standard view in PCS Pro, which has the wagon wheels, place per innings notes, scorebook, and the actual ball by ball and scoreboard right here. As you can see at the bottom here, you've got that I'm the live scorer, so I'm logged in. And it tells me if my sync's up to date down here. Now, to try and guide people through this process as much as possible, certain boxes will stay yellow in this in the pre-game area, just to prompt you to do bits and pieces. So to start the game, I need to record the toss. So I'm going to say Anna won the toss, and they're going to bat first. And I'm also going to tick create innings. So I'm going to go straight into scoring the first innings. If you wanted to delay here, i.e. you didn't know the first innings was starting straight away, you can leave that unticked and it will just keep the game in pre-match mode. So I'm just going to press save. What this will then do is it'll say, it will tell me to start the play, and it would have put in my striker and non-striker for batsman and my bowler based on what the team sheets say. So I press start play. However, it gets you to confirm this as well. And I'm going to confirm my bowler's batsman. For PCS Pro, you get the ability to say where you start your game from. And for this match and Anna's site, I've got it set as north and south. I'm going to confirm my bowler. Okay, so for scoring in PCS Pro, you just click where the ball has gone on the wagon wheel, and the wagon wheel tries to indicate where the ball's going as well with the names of the positions. So I'll just click here and click one run, and it will just change the strike automatically while I'm doing it, and it's recording it in the ball by ball and on the score sheet view here. So that's my first over a lot of ones. After I get to 6 balls, it'll ask me if I want to finish the over. If I want to do an additional ball, I can press no and continue. However, I'm just going to press yes. It'll then confirm the next bowler. And again, this is based on the team sheet. So if that's incorrect, I can just drop down and select somebody else. Again, I could just score some runs. I'm just going to score a load of ones here. And then I'm going to score a wicket at the end of the over. So doing my bolt, and I'm going to do wickets. Clicking on the wickets, I get the options of what kind of wicket it is. Defaults to court. I can just turn around. I'm going to do a court, and it will ask me for a primary fielder. If you didn't know the primary fielder, there is a box that says unknown, which will just communicate that you didn't know that fielder. And you can update that afterwards if you wish. I'm going to say yes, I'm going to end the over. It'll say who's my next batsman coming in. And because I've set it so only bowlers can bowl one over each on this demo, it'll ask me to confirm the bowler for over 3. And I'm going to go with Matthew there. Again, just scoring some runs again. And I've got some wides here, byes, no balls, all that kind of thing there as well. So I can do a no ball. Now, on that one there, I forgot to hit the wagon wheel first. So it didn't tell me where the no ball went. So if I want to, I can click onto that ball there, and it will take me, it'll have a bit grayed out at the moment. I won't be able to do anything on it until I start edit. So I click edit, and then I can put where the ball went on the wagon wheel, and I can also change the score, what the ball was as well. Once I'm happy with that, I can just then go to out of edit by pressing edit again, and it will take me to the next ball. Oh, yeah, I want to own that over. So I'm in the 4th over now, which is my final over. I just need to change my bowler again. Scoring my ones. And then it'll ask me to end the over at the 4th. Now, as the maximum overs have been reached, it'll ask me if I want to end the innings. In this case, I'm going to press yes. And then it will turn the game back into kind of rest mode. At this point, you can put in a break if you wish, and it will just communicate that on the scorecard. If you weren't interested in putting any kind of break in, you can just press save, and then you can click next innings. So I'm going to bring the next innings up, and then I'm going to say start play. And again, it will ask me to confirm a batsman, and the end where they're starting, the bowler's starting, and the bowler's name. And again, I can just click some scores. So I'm going to do some 6s here. Now, if I figured that I needed to check something from the first innings at all, then I wouldn't go back to edit because I can only edit this innings now I'm in it. However, I could just go to scoring at the top here, select innings 1, and that'll bring up my first innings. So I could do an edit in there if I wish to. Probably wouldn't do that during the game. So I'm going to go back to innings 2 and continue scoring. Okay. So just click in here again, clicking some 6s. If I click on the actual box itself, on the arrow, I can put in more than 6 runs if I wish to, so up to 20 runs here, but I'm just going to stick with 6 runs. Okay, so because I've hit a lot of 6s, I've reached the end of the over. I've reached the target score of the game. and it will just confirm that I want to end the innings and match, of which I'm going to say yes. And it will bring up this match edit results point box. Now, if you were not a live scorer, it would bring this box up, and when we press save, it would just save the result. It wouldn't try and send it to Playcricket. And then when you come back in, I'll show you when you do that in just a second. But because I am live scoring, Nick's site has won there, and I can turn around and say, yeah, Nick's site won. I can add other information if I wish to. I can unend the match and go back into the match if I wish to, but just pressing save there will sync that up to Playcricket, which means the result is now on Playcricket. It also saves a copy to my cricket matches folder, so I can go into it at any point and reopen it. If I wasn't happy and I wanted to submit it, or I needed to submit it later, go into the scoring tab. There's the edit match results and points option there, and clicking that would give you the option to sync it to Playcricket. So that, I know that was quite quick. That's just a basic kind of run through a PCS Pro. There is so many help guides regarding the actual features on Pro, which I will go into, which I will share some links with Mark to distribute to you guys, just in case you're interested in Pro. So we've got that one there. Just one thing I'd just like to point out on this, and it is in the app as well. If you ever do need help from within any of the scoring products, there is a help section in both of them, and pressing the help button here and report an issue will send a ticket to the help desk along with any logs from this game to the developers, so we can try and fix that sooner. So just going to exit out of PCS Pro now. Just going to press the cross button there. And what I did say is I was going to show some of the outputs of what we've done tonight very, very quickly, if my program shuts down. Okay. So I'm on the admin section of Nick's test site. I'm just going to refresh the page now. Now, where as you can see, there was one run, so there's one match that's been scored. These two matches now have been scored as well. So you can view the scorecard, and the advantage of doing these on scoring products is if I go to view or edit, and I'm going to go to edit in this point here, it's filled out all the tabs for me completely. All the information that has been submitted through the scoring program has been completed, including partnerships. So there's nothing there for you to do other than just check that it's correct. So instead of spending the time putting it all in manually, it just does it straight away for you. Again, the confirmation buttons are there to let the league know, or the other site know that the league know that you're happy, and the other site can do that as well. It doesn't need to be the site that scored the game. On the front end of this now, if I go out of administration and I go to my results page in Playcricket, and I can see my 3 matches from today are here, all scored here. So you got the first one that was scored on Playcricket itself. You can see here, got a scorecard data, and again, it's just the data that I've managed to put in with the full of wickets there. No ball by ball because it hasn't been digitally scored, or statistics. So I'm just going to go back out of that one. Oops, press too many buttons. Sorry. And then if I go into Tom's one, which is just here, again, same kind of scorecard there, but it's now got a ball by ball section, which you can filter by player that's been playing as well, just to show their actual ball by balls and wickets. And it's also got a statistics section, which gives the players the stats from the game. And I'll scroll down there. So again, every player loves a stat, and giving them makes them very happy. And then finally, I'll just go on to my one that I scored on PCS Pro. And on here, you've got the scorecard, a ball by ball section, where it shows the ball by balls for each innings. Okay. And then a statistics section, which shows a wagon wheel for the whole game, which you can filter by players in PCS Pro because it gives the detail across. Partnerships, Manhattans, worms, run rates. So a little bit more statistics just for the players there for you. And all of this goes into statistics. So it just adds the player onto the game. So if I click on Bill Bailey, 2021 season, we can see that Tom's matches in his scorecard. So you can access everything through the stats that way as well. So everything is linked up. And both scoring solutions now do video options as well. So you can do video playbacks as well in those scorecards as well. So that's really where we kind of end here on this. And we'll just take some sections on some questions, any questions that are left over.
Chris?
But that was kind of a guide to Playcricket. Oh, sorry, Tom. Yeah, so the other thing to mention, I did mention it on the scoring products, but if you do ever need to get in touch with the help desk, when you're on this front end side, you can press this question mark here, which will bring you through to the help desk where all our help guides on videos and how to submit a ticket is located. And then if you are within admin, you can just hit visit help desk, that's here, all the question marks still. And again, brings you through to the help desk where all our guides are located, video tutorials, and the submit a query button, which comes to the help desk directly. Okay, so just see if Tom's got any questions. Any questions come up, Tom? You're on mute, Tom.
I don't know why my button doesn't want to, obviously everyone's heard enough of me tonight. Not from what I can see.
One question from me, Matt, is how does someone register on Playcricket if they're not with a club?
Okay, so I'm on the main page up here.
Sorry, Mark, is this register with a club and get scorer admin rights, is that?
Yeah, I guess so. If somebody is not sort of officially linked to a club.
So if I just log out here, and apologies, because so if I just visited the Playcricket page itself, I could select the sign in option that's up here. And I'm hoping this won't sign me in automatically. But when you go through this area here, it's going to sign me in automatically, sorry. There's a sign up button here. And if I go to the support pages, there's this button up here that says sign up. And this is the Playcricket sign up process and guide. So it guides you through exactly where you sign up to play cricket, what you fill in for yourself. And then as part of this process, you get asked, after you've verified your email address, to select a club that you wish to play for and wish to become a member of. And at that point, you can select your club from a list, and then it will add you to the website as a pending member of website, so an admin can get you into Playcricket. And again, a link to this guide will be sent out with all the information that we're providing. Mark, is that okay?
Yes, that's great. Thanks. And I think the other main area was registering juniors as a parent.
So the registering juniors, again, got a help guide for that as well, which is adding a parent to a child's account. We've got a guide here, and once the parent has created their own account, they can log in, click on their ECB account area, and then there's a child accounts option where you can add your children into Playcricket. And again, once adding your children, and just make sure that you always tick a little box here that says Playcricket is the application you want to sign up for your child. It will go through to the Playcricket journey where you can select the child's teams. After that, they will appear when under your drop down, their name will appear as an option. So you'll have edit account and then your child's name. So you can get that, and you can repeat the whole process, adding more and more children to Playcricket. Again, this will be sent out. We've got a short video on this as well, I believe, as well. So we'll send that out as well to you guys. Okay. And then club admins can match them up to any existing playing records if needed be as well. And we went through matching process on the admin call.
I've not got any other questions in. So, Steve, what do you mean by quirks? So with
Sorry, Tom. I'm just curious. Is there anything unique to pairs? Because everything you've shown us is a very traditional, obviously traditional format, and that's fine. Is there anything unusual for under 11s, sort of junior grade, under 13s who are playing pairs cricket that it would be useful to share at this point? If there's nothing unusual, it's all very self-explanatory. I'm happy to say that's fine because it's 8 o'clock and people want to go. I'm just asking, as an open question, if there's nothing unusual.
So you've got two. So if you're scoring a traditional pairs match, what you'll see for one of the teams is that they'll start on 200 runs on the app. And then for every wicket that's taken, they'll lose 5 runs. The other option, which is for juniors, that will add 5 runs to the bowling team instead of taking it from the batting team. And then you've obviously got your different junior formats, your under 8s, under 9s, softball, and then you've got your hardball. So with the softball, I do believe you have double score zones. And that button will appear every time you press a runs button on PCS. And then I think it's for the 10s and 11s, they can be have 2 wickets. So they have 2 lives, and the app caters for that as well.
So Steve, most of it's taken care of in the scoring rules that are set up for the matches. I've just brought that up on my screen here. So this is a pair scoring rule here. So it's pairs. It tells you how many declarations, how many batters per team, and then it has a starting run section, which on this one is 0 because it's pairs runs gained per wicket. But you might have it that it starts at 200 and then it's lost. So the scoring rules cater for pretty much most stuff that the app does. So there shouldn't be need for any configuration on the day. However, there is space in the app to do it just in case.
No problem, Steve.
Good. Well, just leaves me to say thanks to Chris and Tom for your time in sharing that knowledge. It was great. I can see there's been 44 questions and hopefully they've all been satisfactorily answered as well. Chris has mentioned some of the videos. Tonight's recording and last week's recording will all go under the Cricket Wales Play Cricket page, which comes under the play button. So we'll have everything in one place, hopefully over the next few days. So you can go back and have a look at whether it's registering a child, editing a game, whatever the query you have. Hopefully it will all be there for you to have a look at. So Chris, Tom, thanks very much again for your time and appreciate your input to us tonight. And thanks to everyone for tuning in. Hope you have a good night. Thanks all for coming along.
Thanks for